what you mentioned it with the landing page, but another, I guess, tip I would throw out there as well, which obviously you'd be aware about, is in terms of the ad itself. I mean, say we're saying private guide, you want the keyword you've got in the ads. The ad says looking for a private guide, 50% off private guides, or whatever it says, and then it goes to the landing page, which also talks about private guides. So you've got that.
Absolutely.
You got that relevancy, or you use the keyword right the way through the whole process.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Because if somebody's looking for cheap flights and that's on your Google AdWord, they will expect the landing page to talk a lot about cheap flights.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if the landing page is actually hotels, they go, what? It was cheap flights and I've landed on a web page that's now talking about hotels or just flights. Where are those discounts gone? This doesn't look very cheap. So again, it's just an expensive way for you to get people on your website and bouncing straight off.
Okay, so let's talk about that more. With Shanghai Vision, you get them in, it's face to face, you can sell to them.
Yes.
You can build this, I mean, you've already got this trust and credibility from the PR, but then you can build it even more through what we spoke about, face to face.
Absolutely.
These people come to your website, they've never heard of you. They land on they arrive on your landing page. And I mean, I gather you're actually trying to sell them. I think you said
tour guide.
Yeah, tour guide, which is I think they pay 10% or something like that. They pay 10% up front on your website, and then 90% at the time of the
meeting the tour guide. Yeah.
So my question is, how did you build? Can you talk more about the actual trust and credibility and getting those conversions on your website?
Yeah, absolutely. Building trust on the website is again a science. There are, if you Google 10 tips to building conversion, you will get a lot of ebooks and a lot of help.
Yeah.
And we did that. I did that. So I did a lot of research, learning again 80% of this point, which was conversion.
Okay.
Some of the 80% is using brands, big company brands on the top of your website.
Yep.
2 would be testimonials. Client testimonials are essential, and we've spoken about the hierarchy of testimonials already.
Yep.
So go for video, because they're the best. 3, to increase conversion rate, is a contact. If there's a physical office or a phone number or 24/7 Skype or live chat, there's lots of ways to do it, but have a personable web page. Make sure they feel there's a physical presence behind this web page.
Yes.
That builds trust. And then 4th is very complex because it's the architecture of the page. So it's very complex. 4 is where you put the button, book now, how big the button, book now, is, how big the writing is, what color the button is. Red, is that good in the US, or is a green button more comfortable? People like green, it's a positive. So there's huge things you can do on the design, the look and feel of the actual web page itself. So it's a very complex process, increasing conversion on your website. The one thing I'd put in brackets is measure.
Okay.
So I've spoken about some of these things. If you implement the 5 things I've said, the logos of big brands, the client testimonials, the contact us, physical presence, etc. Measure it, so you don't have all of these on February the 1st. You put them live on February the 4th. Measure the conversion. Hopefully you'll see an increase. So you need an analytics tool like Google Analytics to measure that conversion. And there's lots of testing you can do on conversion. So as an example, you have a page with a green button, book this tour guide.
Yeah.
But you also have a page with a red button, book this tour guide. And you can do split testing to see which button color converts highest.
Yeah.
From my experience, it won't be something amazing. It won't be like a 200% more people book with the green button than the red. But there will be a winner.
Yeah.
There will be a winner of 10 to 15%. And why throw that away?
Yeah, okay, I can see it.
If green
all adds
works
up,
better,
sure.
it all adds up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my lessons, is I did research and learned 80% of it. We implemented it, but more importantly, we tested. Those analytics tools are critical. Keep testing what you make live to ensure it's working. If it's not working, remove it and try something new.
Okay. What about a guarantee or a refund or something like that? Did you do that on your website?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And we had a 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Yeah.
That if you weren't happy with your tour guide, we would refund you, just to have happy clients.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, it removed the buying decision-making process.
Yeah.
Because if I spend €120 on a Paris tour guide and it didn't work out, these guys are going to refund me, so I have nothing to lose.
And
so
just to clarify, you're only refunding the 10% that you take anyway, aren't you?
No, in this case, we would refund the whole lot.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And that shows that I was confident in the quality of my product.
Yeah.
Because I knew, which happened, we'd have less than 1% refunds, less than 0.1% in fact.
Yeah.
So when you have a good quality product, you put your best tour guides first, those guides with client ratings, with a license, with a photograph. You know they're going to be booked, you know they're good, they're really good. So the chance of somebody saying I had a crap time is very low.
Yeah.
So if you have confidence in your product or service, give the 100% guarantee. It'll just remove that decision-making process from clients to allow them to book and use your product.
Okay, and test that as well to make sure it's not costing, it's not killing your business. But obviously, if you got everything set up the way you described, that would work well.
Yep.
Okay, so a couple more questions I got here. Were there any was there anything else that we haven't discussed in terms of internet marketing or conversion that maybe it was like a modification that you made on your site that previously it wasn't doing so well, and then you changed something and then it made a dramatic increase? Was there anything like that you can give an example about?
Unfortunately, no, and that was the big lesson.
Okay.
So let's talk about SEO.
Yeah.
There was no magic dust
that
we did something, like we got a link on the New York Times and the following day we were #1 in Google. Nothing like that ever happened for OurExplorer.com. It was just an accumulation of many, many, many things, many links, many keywords, just a slow accumulation. The same with SEM, search engine marketing. There was never one thing that we changed in our Google AdWords campaign that resulted in a massive increase in conversion or a massive increase in click-through rate.
Okay.
It was just a slow and steady increase over time of doing many little things. So there was no magic dust.
Okay, that's good to know. So, just going over our Explorer, this business here, you found this gap when you were traveling in Bolivia. You ran through the idea and you developed it over a number of months. You had this failed website you tried to develop overseas.
Absolutely.
Finally you brought it back locally. You developed it. You started bringing the suppliers on. It was
a long journey.
They didn't provide any information. You got the information.
Yeah.
You learned the SEO. You learned the SEM. You learned conversion.
Crazy.
You get the internet marketing going. It's slow. It starts to take off over a number of months, 12 months, 18 months. It's this slow journey, but gradually the business is building.
Yes.
So, at what point though is it? I mean, obviously you've sold this now, and that was only in September, I believe. So
correct, 2 months ago.
At what point did it get big enough so that you got approached? I think by Vital.
Yes,
is that right?
Absolutely.
Talk me through that.
Yeah. So a lot of the detail of the deal is confidential, of course, because it was a commercial trade sale.
Okay.
But in essence, which I'm sure Vitor won't mind me talking about, what our Explorer had achieved is we had achieved the building and the aggregation of a very unique set of people.
Yes.
We aggregated 2,500 tour guides from approximately 140, I think it was 142 countries around the world.
Yes.
So we had over time built a unique set of data. That set of data wasn't anywhere else in the world. Flights, for example, is not the same. The flights, the Virgin Blue flights, the Jetstar flights, you can find them on many aggregators and the virginblue.com website and the jetstar.com website.
Yeah.
For us, we had a very unique set of data. Also, we had ranked and we had sorted that data, so we knew what was quality through the client testimonials.
Yes.
So we built real value.
Yeah.
And that's what was purchased. We were a young company, so we didn't have thousands and tens of thousands of clients. So we weren't selling that because we didn't have that volume of clients.
Yeah.
What we did achieve over the 3 years was we built a very unique set of data, a very unique product base, and that's what was bought as a strategic purchase. Because websites like Zuji.com and Travelocity and Priceline, which is the American travel website, not the pharmacy here in Australia, they said, wow, you have such a unique collection of data. When we sell a flight or when we sell a hotel room, we can add this as another product.
Yeah, okay.
So I can't remember the terminology now, but it was like in McDonald's, do you want fries with that? So they were able to
upsell sort of
they could upsell our product to existing clients and give them a brilliant time in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, okay.
So they bought the flight from Zuji, for example, and now they have a tour guide from Zuji as well.
Yes.
And they went to Buenos Aires, had a great time. So at the barbecue when they returned home to Australia, they're telling everyone about their Zuji experience. So that was the exit sale plan. It was always build a quantity of data and sell to one of these big travel companies like Viator.
Yeah.
And thankfully that happened.
So to finish off here, obviously you've sold out this and you know you've got a bit more free time now. We've talked a little bit about what you're doing now.
Absolutely.
You know, would you like to tell, I guess, the guys about what you're at now and what you're looking for?
Yeah, so I feel quite fortunate that I happen to have 2 successful businesses in my commercial history, so to speak. So I'd like to use that experience in the last 8 years to help a Sydney company, an early stage Sydney company, to grow. So I'm very interested in talking to business owners, helping those business owners drive their sales and marketing, me working as a partner, physically in the business, taking a physical seat, daily going into the office and working shoulder to shoulder, building and creating value in your business, and then exit selling. And as I said, I happen to have done it twice, so I know a bit about the process now of building value and successfully exit selling. Because it's not always easy to find a buyer. Lots of people have an exit plan of selling their business in 3 to 5 years. It's a very common statement.
Yeah.
So if there's lots of people trying to do that, then it's very competitive on the buying side. Somebody that wants to be the buyer of your product. So it's a process that I've done twice. So I'm very happy to talk to Sydney-based business owners that would like some expertise if they liked what I've done in the past, and we can work together, as I said, as a partnership. So that's what I'm seeking to do.
Great. How can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, the best way is through IPitch. So I'll have my details on IPitch.
Okay.
And the full name is David Cunningham, but that's probably the best way to use the IPitch portal.
Yes.
And contact me via that.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, guys, look, very nice interview. Thank you for that. If the audience, anyone listening, if you've got any feedback, look, I'm just starting this series off. I welcome the feedback. I want to hear everything. If you're not already a member of IPitch, join IPitch, create an account, create your startup, and start getting active in the community. So, again, thanks very much.
Thank you, Gareth.
Cheers.